Hey, and welcome to day 9 of 365-ish days reading the Bible together. We are reading Job 21 through 23 today. Well, that's what you are reading on your own time. That's what I read on my own time, and now we're coming together to have a quick chat about it. So if you've been following along, you know that there's been this great tragedy in Job's life. He lost everything. God gave Satan permission to go after Job, and that's what Satan did, and he took his children, his livelihood, and then attacked his health. So Job is sitting in grief and pain, literally, because he's got this stuff going on with his skin, inwardly pain and outwardly pain, and he's having these, I don't want to really call them conversations, because it's really just Job expressing his grief out loud, and then his friends responding to it, almost like condescendingly. So chapter 21 is Job speaking. Chapter 22 is Eliphaz, his third response to Job. And chapter 23 is Job speaking again. Two things that I want to touch upon is in 21:7, Job says, "Why do wicked prosper, growing old and powerful? They live to see their children grow up and settle down." That is something I know I felt before. I know that that's something maybe you felt before too. But this is just a reminder that comparison is the thief of joy, and not to compare our outwardly success with where we are in connection to God. If someone has $1 billion and they're a really crappy human being in your opinion, that's between them and God. That has nothing to do with your circumstance. Yeah, it sucks. I've been there where I'm like, bro, if you've been here, you know I lost my son, my only son. And there are moments and times where I'm like I am a present mom. I'm a mom who has lots of love to give. Of all people this could have happened to. Not that I want it to happen to anyone, but it's like that is human emotion, human thought when you are grieving. It's a natural thought that comes up, but that's when you have to grab that stuff grab it and be like, you know what? God is sovereign. God is sovereign. God is sovereign. So why do wicked people prosper? I don't know. That has nothing to do with me. But I know God called me by name. God knows me by name. God has my name written in the palm of his hand. That's all that matters. And also, following God means that we will drink from the same bitter cup of suffering that Jesus drank from. So if God is someone who gave up his only son, if God's only son died, what makes you think you are too good to suffer too? So yeah, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't let yourself go there. When you feel yourself going there, just pray and remind yourself that God is sovereign. God has a plan. Might not be the plan that you would have picked for yourself, but it is what it is, and sometimes that is what it is. Moving on, I just want to touch upon chapter 23. Job is speaking, and he says, "For I have stayed on God's path." Hang on one second. Okay, we're going to read a little bit. "I go east, but he is not there. I go west, but I cannot find him. I do not see him in the north, for he is hidden. I look to the south, but he is concealed. But he knows where I am going. And when he tests me, I will come out as pure gold, for I have stayed on God's path. I have followed his ways and not turned aside. I have not departed from his commands, but have treasured his words more than daily food. But once he has made his decision, who can change his mind? Whatever he wants to do, he does." That is basically what we just said. It is what it is. In this moment, life is painful. In this moment, I know God is there. It is hard for me to see God in this moment. It was hard for me when I had to watch my son die. When the nurses, the hospital failed my son, they murdered my son. That's what really happened. And to have to stand there and watch helplessly, God, where are you? I'm looking around, I'm screaming your name, I'm on my knees, I'm praying harder than I've ever prayed in my life. Ultimately, it's in his hands. But you know, you've not departed from his commands, and you treasure him and you treasure his words. That's it. That's all you need to do. I feel like I've gone off on a tangent, but I hope that what I'm saying makes sense. Anyway, that was my takeaways for these 3 chapters. Those are the things that stood out to me. Feel free to comment in the comments things that stood out to you too. For me, reading the book of Job, there's a lot that resonates me because of my own grief journey. You might not be, I pray you're not on the same journey. I pray that your circumstances are way different. And so for someone who's reading this with circumstances that are way different, I would just love to see what your takeaways are, what stood out to you, what you're getting from this book. Yeah. We'll end there, and I'll see you tomorrow.